So did you believe in the Tooth Fairy as a kid?
Of course I did. And my children did, and my grandchildren do. In my youth, we didn't get very much for a tooth. These days, I think you get quite a lot, but that's inflation.
What does it take to be a good tooth fairy?
What does it take? Well, you have to believe. You have to be very quiet. You have to be very kind in case if your child wakes up, it's very hard to put the money under the pillow.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think the message of the movie is?
It's a lovely message. And it's a timeless one, which is that we should all be allowed to dream. We should all be allowed to have fantasies about good things. Santa Claus, tooth fairies, Easter bunnies. It's important that children use their imaginations and have them stimulated. And I think it would be a very sad world without that.
Mm-hmm. If people believed in themselves more, do you think that there would be less frustrated people in the world, maybe less violence, less despair?
I can only imagine that would be so, yeah. I think as much as believing in oneself, it's to do with tolerance also. Trying to understand where the other person is coming from. Mm-hmm. That's probably equally important.
How do you inspire kids?
If you're asking how does one go about inspiring children, mm-hmm. I think in the case of a movie or a book, and I write a lot of children's books, that you try to tell them the best possible story. You hope to draw them in so that they love to learn to read, so that I'm a passionate advocate for reading and for literacy. And I think if you can inspire a child to learn math, to read, they're set for the rest of their lives. Once they've been inspired, you can manage miracles.
Mm-hmm. So what was the biggest chance that you took in your life?
Oh my gosh, I've taken a lot. And the biggest chance that I took, I think probably coming to America the very first time when I was 18 years old, and I came on my own, and I was very green, and you can imagine that I came from a small village in England, and to suddenly arrive on Broadway in New York City, and it was unlike anything I could have imagined. It was dizzying. I would sometimes have to stand in a shop doorway just to clear my head because the energy of New York, the busyness of New York, the wonder of New York was so tremendous.